Let's talk about some two-man mechanics in the A position. So this is one of the first things that we learned in umpire training on the very first day when we were at the MAC on inside working on this with all the new guys. So a little refresher is always a good thing. So you want to be stationed 10 to 12 feet behind the first baseman. If the first baseman moves forward like he's playing in, you want to be 10 to 12 feet behind either the first baseman or the first base bag, whichever one is further back. So if the first baseman is way up front, like playing super bunt coverage, then don't go any further than 10 to 12 feet behind the first base. Now, likewise, if the first baseman is playing way far back, like at the grass dirt line, you need to be maybe 2 to 3 steps behind him, just enough space that if he dives to the foul line, you're not going to be in the middle of the play, okay? But generally speaking, in most scenarios, you want to find yourself 10 to 12 feet behind the first baseman. And you need to make sure that you are standing in foul ground. Just as we talked about previously with the fair foul, a baseball that hits an umpire in fair territory is a fair ball. A baseball that hits an umpire in flight that is standing in foul ground, guess what? Is a foul ball. So you knowing where you are positioned on the field is super important. Make sure that you're standing in foul ground. And then this last one, what I mean by moving with the pitch, same thing as we see the players kind of, taking a step forward as the pitch is coming. As a base umpire, it's always really good in the A position to be moving with the pitch. Take a step forward, get off of the heels of your feet, get onto your toes. So that way when the ball is hit, you're ready to go. Speaking of when the ball is hit, you want to pause, read, then react. So the first thing that you do is when the ball is hit, you pause, see what is going on instantly as in that first instant as the ball is hit. Next, you're reading the flight of the baseball. Are we having a clean base hit to the outfield? If so, we're coming into the pivot. Do we have a ground ball to the infield? If so, we're going to start moving to build our angle. If we have potentially trouble in other areas, maybe we need to go out for a home run possible down the right field line, something along those lines. You need to read the ball, and then you need to react. You need to do what your brain just told you to do. So those 3 steps are super important. Pause, read, then react. Now, for this scenario, we're going to talk about a ground ball going to the infield. So if we have a ground ball hit to the shortstop, after you pause and you read that the ball is going to the shortstop, now you need to move in the direction of the fielder. So basically, you need to take a couple of hard steps directly towards the shortstop. That is going to build your angle. And then lastly, you're going to turn to first base as the ball is being thrown, read true throw, get your head turned around, get set, and then make the call. Okay. Likewise, if the ball is hit to the third baseman, as you're moving to build your angle, move towards the third baseman, walk, take a couple steps really hard and fast. As the throw comes in, turn, get set, and make the call. Really important that you get your eyes set so that way your camera is not wiggling as the play is coming into first base. Get set and make the call. But all of that kind of is thrown out the window when something like this happens.
Count now is anymore.
Very good. Once again, we hit it directly to the first baseman. I mean, it's a sliding. Oh, that's a close bang play, but the ump is going to call the Gates.
Let's watch this one more time.
Very good. Once again, we hit it directly to the first baseman. I mean, it's a sliding. Oh, that's a close bang play, but the.
So there are some exceptions to every rule that we have in umpiring, and this is one of those exceptions that I want to talk to you. So when you pause and you read, if you read what we call pressure, okay? Pressure meaning that the first baseman is right on top of you, meaning he's dove to his left, he's stopped the baseball, or maybe the second baseman is fielding it way over in the hole and he's continuing to run, kind of make a running throw. And if you move to the fair side of the play where you take, 99% of your calls, if you're in the way, we call that pressure. So we don't want you going towards fair territory to build your angle. This scenario is the exception. You need to move towards foul ground to build your angle. Now, make sure that you get completely foul out of the way of where the batter runner is going to run through the base, because if you're standing right on the foul line or pretty close to it, you're liable to get absolutely laid out by the batter runner as he's running through first base. So you need to get into really deep foul ground and build a nice angle so you can get a good look at this play. Likewise, as a plate umpire, if you see the base umpire going in foul territory to take a play at first base, you have to be ready to move to second base in case there is a next play. Because when the base umpire is in foul territory, what happens is the roles of the plate umpire and base umpire switch. So when the base umpire is in fair territory, he takes all plays of the batter runner at first and then going to other bases, while the plate umpire takes the ball in play, out of play, like towards the dugout for overthrows and that kind of stuff. But if the base umpire moves in foul territory, then the base umpire retains that responsibility. So he has all plays at first base, and he also has all overthrows in foul territory. Meanwhile, the plate umpire has plays at second and third base should there be another overthrow. They just switch roles in that. So plate umpire, you have to be really, really on top of it if your base umpire moves into foul ground. So let's go back to this play, and I'm going to stop it and talk a lot because there's so much about this play that I just absolutely love.
Count now is anymore.
So ball is hit. First of all, ball is hit. Umpire is pausing and reading, and we have a first baseman who is quite literally right on top of him. He doesn't field the ball cleanly, but he does knock it down.
Very good. Once again.
Okay, so if he kind of takes a reach step into fair territory and then realizes, oh man, I'm about to be in the way. We have three fielders, the first baseman, the second baseman, and the pitcher, all sprinting towards first base. If we have a fourth person, that's the umpire sprinting into that area, boy, do we have a cluster. Watch him position, adjust, and realize this on the fly.
We hit it directly.
Okay, and see how fair or how foul our base umpire gets. He's way past the foul line. He's got a nice, clean angle looking at this play.
To the first baseman. I mean, it's a sliding.
And then he's set to make the call. When the camera angle
that's a
switches,
close bang bang play.
this is really sort of kind of the angle that you're looking at here. Obviously, it's slightly parallaxed, but you can see how far foul the base umpire is for this play. You can definitely see he's got an angle. You can imagine the pitcher running up there. He's got all of the elements of the play coming at him, and he's able to get set and make a really great call that kind of just unfolds right in front of him. If he was in fair territory, he would have all kinds of things right in his way. First of all, he would likely be in the first baseman's way of making the pitch or making fielding and then making the attempted throw. Second of all, he's going to be in the way of just the second baseman who's charging in as well. So this play, we definitely feel pressure in, and we definitely want to take this one in foul territory. Now, I want to watch it from the plate umpire's perspective because, again, lots of things to talk about on this play. Ball is hit, mask off. We're clearing the catcher to the left. Great job. Why does it do that to me? Ball is hit. Clear the catcher to the left.
Very good. Once again, we
have a plate umpire who is now moving down the first base line, just as he should.
Hit it directly to the.
And notice he is on the inside of the baseline, because I guarantee you our plate umpire knows that, let's say the ball gets lost right here. He's now having to make a beeline to right behind the pitcher's mound in the working area to have a look at plays at second and potentially third base in this one.
First baseman. I mean, it's a sliding. Oh,
let me see if I can freeze it on this moment to see. Look at all these bodies that are right in the mix right there towards first base. If our first base umpire took a relatively normal stance, he would be standing right there. And then we would have 4 black jerseys all in the same area and trying to look and do the exact same thing. What a cluster that would be. But instead, our first base umpire is building that angle, looking that direction right in there. Way to go by this umpiring crew. Really, really strong umpiring. Let's watch it one more time and we'll move on.
Count now is anymore.
Very good. Once again, we hit it directly to the first baseman. I mean, it's a sliding. Oh, that's a close bang bang play, but the ump is going to call the Gatesville Hornet out. I almost beg to
differ was the next thing, but it was a great call by our crew. Way to go, guys.